My number 10 is Conclave, the religious drama thriller about the goings on when choosing a new pope, and the conspiracies, the backstabbings, the political intrigue. It was very, very, very well written by whatever the guy is. That's not good about Letterboxd. I can only see the director, Edward Berger. It's Thomas Harris.
Peter. How do you say that? Stragan?
Oh right, I just go to crew. Sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
Peter Strawn. Peter Strawn. Oh, original writer Robert Harris. Strawn.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Strawn. Yeah. Robert Harris, who is, I think, primarily an author of books, novels.
What's the difference between writer and original writer?
I don't know. I know on IMDb he is, or in the movie it says written by Peter Strawn and Robert Harris. So maybe maybe it's one of those things where he wrote the original script and then Peter Strawn did some revisions, or he made the official screenplay or stuff like that. I don't know. Either way, they both came up with a magnificent script. I mean, you can't really go wrong with a bunch of old white men sitting around talking about God and politics. It's an acquired taste, but my God, if it's for you, it's so good. No, it's a really, really well made, thriller. I would almost say not a very exciting or excited thriller, but it is thrilling nonetheless. So 4 to 5 stars.
It's tagged as a drama, though, so...
Yeah, but there are definitely thriller aspects. It's thriller adjacent.
Okay, cool.
Then, my number 9 is the scariest movie of the year. It's Vermine. Yes.
Yeah.
In terms... We've talked about this. This is a 4 out of 5 for me. The French movie Vermine by Sébastien Vanitschek. And written by, Sébastien Vanitschek and Florent Bernard. Not only is this, like, in terms of pure terror, maybe the scariest movie I've ever seen. Just like visceral, I'm scared,
Yeah.
But it also managed to squeeze in, like, well-defined characters with interesting, like, interpersonal relationships and themes of, what's it called? Gentrification and like social status and stuff like that. Since it all takes place in a Parisian suburb.
Political commentary is what I was trying to say.
Social commentary, I would say. Yeah,
yes.
Same thing. It is just amazing.
Yeah.
I'll keep it at that.
I mean, I haven't finished it, but yeah.
Yeah, and that has to say something about the horror aspect. When you literally had to turn it off because you were having like a panic attack.
Basically. I mean, I was afraid of our garage for like a week afterwards because we had one spider in it.
Yeah, I almost couldn't finish the movie. It took me, like, I had to turn it off and then put it on the next day. I had to collect myself.
I will have to finish it for the spoiler awards.
Yeah.
So,
because guess what? It's gonna be nominated. That's one of those, it's almost like a surefire win.
You'll have to hold my hand or something.
Sure. Yeah. I'll physically come over to your apartment and make you watch it.
Yeah.
Anyway, my number 8 is Juror number 2. Very confusing. Which was another very late edition. I think I watched it last week.
Isn't that the one with, what's his name?
Nicholas Hoult.
Yes.
And Toni Collette and Chris Messina and Zoe Deutsch and J.K. Simmons.
I've only seen the poster, and every time I look at it, I think that the statue in the background is like
a murderer.
A devil or something?
Yeah. No, it's Lady Justice.
Yeah, no, that I look at it closer, yeah. I think I've only seen it in like passing.
Yeah. It's one of those
movies. But I don't
movies.
know anything about it.
No, yeah, and that's kind of good. I mean, they don't really give much away if you just read the blurb. It's while serving as a juror in a high-profile murder trial, family man Justin Kemp finds himself struggling with a serious moral dilemma, one he could use to sway the jury verdict and potentially convict or free the accused killer.
That's basically all I know as well. And I feel like I should leave it at that.
Yes,
to not ruin anything.
They almost give too much away in the trailer. But even with watching the trailer, it was quite a nail-biting, like, thriller drama, I would say. It has that classic subdued style of Clint Eastwood, where he just plops the camera down, gives you like 2 takes, and then like, we're done, let's move on. Nobody has time to go for big emotional flourishes, or, I want to try anything different. No, you don't want to try anything different. I am 150 years old. We have to wrap this up, basically. And that makes for a very, it's almost like his style of directing is no style, which makes it very matter of fact, and it works very well for stuff like this.
I can imagine. I mean, it's a court case.
Yes. One of my favorite movies of his later movies is what's it called? Richard Jewell, which is also it's just people sitting in rooms, but it's so powerful, and that comes of course with the dialogue. It's not just his directing; it's written by Jonathan A. Abrams. Now, it's a really good movie. It's a real nail biter in the third act. So I gave it 4 to 5 stars. These early movies in the list, they could probably be interchangeable. It's really the top 5, I would say, that
are actually
rigidly 5, 4,
same.
3, 2, 1. Yeah,
obviously.
Because my number 7, speaking of horror, I have The Substance.
Which for me, it just missed my top 10s.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to hear your top 10. Yeah, and honestly, like in terms of sheer horror, Vermin is much more scarier. I think when you actually think about it, yes, The Substance became very known for its its hard hitting commentary on female beauty standards and all that, and of course the gratuitous body horror, which both are good, but I would say if I'm gonna critique this movie, my 7th favorite movie of the year, is that the commentary feels a bit dated.
Yeah, I think we said that in the full length episode.
Yes,
it feels like it was something that should have been done like 10 to 5 years ago.
Maybe even like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Of course, it's still there. Like, we have skewed beauty standards for both genders or all genders, whatever.
But things have changed for the better.
Yeah. And
compared to what this movie is portraying.
Yeah, and it's funny because I saw just the other day, a movie released on YouTube, a like half-hour behind-the-scenes documentary or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, where they interviewed Carly Farge. And she talked about, like, the story came from her turning 50, which I was like, Jesus. She's made 2 movies. She's 50 already? I don't know. Maybe she's done other things. I don't know. She looks much younger. Speaking of beauty standards, she looks a lot younger than 50, I'm saying.
Maybe she started late.
Yeah. And how she was feeling around, turning 50 and maybe not being, like, conventionally attractive anymore or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's born on
feeling her age.
Yeah, and I definitely understand then that's very much translated into the film.
Oh yeah.
But she also mentioned stuff like there's no representation of women over 50 in media. I was just like, that's so far from correct. True. That's not true at all. Sure, like ladies in movies definitely take on different roles. They don't do, Demi Moore doesn't do what she did in the 90s, what she does now.
No.
She's not in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle anymore. She's in The Substance. I mean,
but yes, they're not the heartthrobs. They're not the girl next door anymore. They're not the love interest as often.
No.
Unfortunately. But it's
because
they're still, most movies aren't made about people over 30.
Yeah. Although you could argue then that there is a whole subsection of action movies where, like, gruff dads over 50 kick ass,
Yeah, but that's because they can't do anything else.
Yeah.
They can't act
anymore. And we have other beauty standards for men. Like, men doesn't have to look good; they need to feel
strong.
Good. If that makes any sense? Yeah. Either way, despite that, it is a wonderful movie that not only like thrills with its amazing special effects, but they showed off even more. In the behind the scenes stuff, like so much puppetry stuff that I didn't even think of. Like when she first crawls out of Demi Moore's back.
Yeah.
That's a full like puppet with like a fake arm crawling out of her, and then a part of it is what's her name, Margaret Qualley crawling out.
Yeah.
But I didn't even think of that. That of course it has to be a puppet. They can actually crawl out of Demi Moore's back, but it looks so real and all that stuff.
I think I just thought it was. Yeah, no, yeah.
Trick photography? No, it's an actual.
No, I mean, I knew she wasn't lying there, but it's partially her, then they partially had a puppet, then partially had or something.
It's all a big life-size doll. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, so all of that stuff, the visuals, the storytelling, the direction, the performances. Margaret Qualley and Demi Moore knocks it out of the park, both of them. Yeah, no, I guess for all those reasons, it fits firmly in number 7. Sorry for dragging on. Then we have Dune, Chapter 2 as number 6.
Yes.
Which I know a lot of people say is the best movie of the year. I even heard, we've mentioned him before, Carson Runquist calling it a modern classic. And I have a hard time calling movies classics anymore.
Yeah, they don't.
It might have to do with the fact that a movie needs age before you can actually say it's a classic. Does it have the staying power? Because my opinion about classics is that there haven't been any classics since the turn of the millennium. The last classics we had were The Matrix. In terms of
but even that, I'm sure, everyone knows what the Matrix is. But not everyone's watched it. It's not one of those movies that everyone end up watching.
Well, most people have watched it. If you ask 10 people, 9 are going to say they've seen The Matrix.
8, maybe.
8, sure. And it's a movie that influenced, the influenced the future of cinema and all that.
Sure.
The thing is, it came out 20 years ago. Maybe in 20 years, Dune Chapter 2 will have the same staying power, and that's where
hard to say, but
hard to say, yeah. Either way, it is an amazing science fiction, action adventure, drama, commentary on religion, art piece. Yeah, exactly. It is such a step up in every way from part 1, mainly because it actually has to do with the exciting part of the book.
They finally had things to do.
Yeah. No, but it's just, in terms of sheer spectacle, it's a strong contender for movie moment of the year.
Oh yeah.
When Lisan Al-Gaib gets to climb the sandworm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lisan Al-Gaib is the worm. No,
he has many names.
Yes.
He is Lisan Al-Gaib. That's the prophet name thingy. Muad'Dib is his warrior name.
Yeah, the desert mouse.
Yeah, and he has something else.
And the Bene Gesserit call him the Kwisatz Haderach.
Yeah, and then he is, of course, I was about to say Timothy Chalamet, but that's not his name.
Paul Atreides, and lastly, Timothy Chalamet, yeah.
Exactly.
But also, great performances
yes.
By Timothy Chalamet, by Javier Bardem.
Oh, yes.
Austin Butler is great in it.
Oh my god, and I don't even like him. He's great in this.
Yeah. Even Zendaya, who I'm not a big fan of, it's really, really good in this. Yeah, and it just shows the directing prowess of Denis Villeneuve. So yeah.
And on top of that, every single frame is an actual art piece.
Yes. Yes.
You can frame it.
Literally every frame a painting, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we're into the top 5. These are the actual best movies of the year.
Yes.
And on number 5, I have the last movie I watched in 2024, at least in cinema, Strange Darling, which just immediately jumped into the top 10.
Oh, yeah.
My God, what a movie. This is so up my alley. First of all,
ranked it, not ranked it higher than you, but mine ended up higher than yours.
Yeah. First of all, Kyle Gallner, what a revelation. I'm so glad that a couple of years ago now, Red Letter Media started emphasizing the fact that they kept seeing him popping up in movies, because it made me realize oh yeah, I've been I guess in the closet Kyle Gallner fan my entire life, basically, because he's been in so many movies that I loved without even thinking about it, because he's not a star.
He's been in the back of my mind since the first time I saw Jennifer's Body.
Yeah. And I was a late bloomer when it came to Jennifer's Body, but before that, I'd seen him in so many things.
I think I saw it a year after it released or something.
Okay, yeah, no, I skipped it. But then, in the last few years, it feels like he's really found his niche with doing smaller movies. I mean, last year he was nominated for Best Actor at the Spoiler Awards for The Passenger.
Yes.
And I mean, he is definitely I would say the best part of Smile, and he has one scene in Smile 2, which
He's only in one scene?
Yes, it's the opening scene. Guess what happens? Yeah.
Oh, no, of course.
But he's awesome in that scene. And
sure.
Then he does stuff like this, Strange Darling, where he just goes full tilt. Like, I'm saying this I'm sorry, I'm babbling on, but I'm saying this because we haven't done an episode on this. We probably won't.
I was about to say, we might have to do a full episode on this one.
Yeah. Because he has, like I said, with love and respect, he has realized that he is not like AAA star material. So instead of trying to be like the cool guy, trying to be like, I'm so like the best, he goes for like the weird parts, and which really like lets him stretch his acting ability. So he does stuff like Strange Darling, where he plays the demon, and it's just such a fucking powerful performance. And it's not even the best performance in the movie, which is by Willa Fitzgerald, who plays the lady or whatever it's called, or
I think so.
Called, it's full of actual twists and turns. It's sick. It's so well shot. It's shot on actual film, which I know it's pretentious, but it's so cool. I mean, they even pointed out in the beginning of the movie, entirely shot in 35 millimeter. Yeah. It's scary. It's weird. It's funny, and it even managed to like squeeze in like interesting. Like an interesting story about the characters, mostly the lady, but still. Yeah. We haven't really talked about that, but you know, her thing, like why she does what she does. Yeah. I think is a very, very interesting choice for that character. It's just like such a great movie.
We'll have to do. I have a suggestion for a full length episode on this movie and one more that we'll just do like another sort of recap, but shorter.
Yeah. And also,
depending on what happens.
I was able to write one of those quirky, funny, one-sentence letterboxd reviews that gets thousands of likes, but I didn't get that. I just said, my dream date, 4.5 stars. Anyway, that's my number 5. Number 4 is American Fiction. Technically a 2023 release, but we got it here on Prime in 2024. That's why it's here.
We had that issue with a few movies that
and it's going to pop up another time on this list.
No, we had it with Strange Darling as well. Technically.
Oh yeah, but I think that it's actually a 2024 release all over the world.
It's listed as 2023 on.
It was made in 2023. It didn't get released until 2024, I think.
Okay, whatever.
Either way, yeah.
American Fiction.
American Fiction. It lives and dies by the script. This might be the best written movie of 2024.
Oh yeah.
It's that. Like funny / like super serious. I don't know if it's a weird way to put it, racial commentary, like commentary on race relations.
Yeah.
And really how you relate to your own race. It's very reminiscent of a movie called Sorry to Bother You, about the black guy who's a telemarketer who learns to use his white voice.
White voice,
yeah. This one is a black man who desperately wants to just be a person, not a black person. But then he gets famous when he actually uses his black voice.
Yeah.
It's so clever. It's such a clever, commentary on race, really. The ending is a bit anticlimactic, but I think that's the point. Because they literally give us like 3 different endings. Yeah. And none of them feels right. And he's like, no, that's not right. And then the movie just ends, basically. And also, while it lives and dies by the script, it also gave us maybe one of the best performances of the year. Jeffrey Wright, just so fucking good in this movie.
Jesus Christ.
It's a 4.5, like, easily for me. One of the best movies of the year. Actually, the 4th best movie of the year for me.
Exactly.
Then we have a controversial pick. It's one that a lot of people didn't like at all. And I'm actually saying it's the 3rd best of the year. It's Megalopolis. Yeah.
I don't understand how people don't like it. Like, I get that it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
And to the point almost a bit ugly at times.
Yes, the effects.
But it's also kind of pretty at times.
Oh yeah. Like the CGI is awful for like 80% of the movie. The plot is all over the place.
Yes.
There's so many scenes that are simply there just to be weird, but also kind of convey a feeling. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Like this is what this really is, and I think that's where people like get it twisted. This is a $200 million art house film. Like that's never been done before. This is a movie that should cost like $5 million to make, but he spent all the money he could and did everything that he wanted to do. Coppola, that is.
Yes.
And a lot of people
and people are probably overlooking the actual
the idea.
What he's trying to say.
Yeah, what he's trying to say. They just see the weird plot that doesn't really work. Yeah, and I agree, it doesn't. But yeah.
We did an episode on that as well, right?
We did an episode on it. We talked about all about it. And we talked about one thing that people, I haven't heard anyone really mention it. I'm not saying but the movie is ultimately about time. And time running away. Not having enough time left.
Exactly.
Because it's a story about a brighter future. But as a 100-year-old man or whatever, Coppola might not have time to create that brighter future he was so desperately hoping for.
Which I thought was partially kinda obvious with the fact that the character can actually stop time.
Yes, I mean the movie, or his story. The movie literally starts with him stopping time.
Yes,
because if I could only stop time, I would have an infinite amount of time to create this better future.
This one thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's even the tagline. If you can't see a better future, build one. That's what he does. I thought it was so
And he literally
beautiful.
stops time to be able to do it. So obviously, time is a big impact on this story.
Yeah, but then people only see the surface. They're like, why doesn't he keep stopping time all the time? Why doesn't he stop time to stop like a traffic act? That's not the point. It's not that he's literally stopping time. He's figuratively stopping time.
And also, if you could do that, you have to stop time infinitely.
Yeah.
Because you can't keep track of anything and everything. That's just dumb argument. It's a mute argument.
Yeah, it's moot point. Moot point.
What? Yes.
It's a tool to tell a story. It's not an actual superpower. He has the superpower, which is the weird part. He actually has the superpower.
Sure, but still.
Yeah.
More on that if you check out the full episode.
Yeah, it is a weird one, but I think if you let yourself just take it in, it's wonderful. I mean, I cried. I cried in the end, as I always do.
I don't remember if I cried, but I did really enjoy it.
That's my number 3. My number 2, another controversial pick. One that people would say is probably one of the worst movies of the year. It's Civil War.
What?
Yeah. Because it was the one that it wasn't political enough. It was too political. It was too much left-leaning. Too much right-leaning. It didn't know what it was trying to say.
That's the point.
Yes, thank you. It is deliberately vague when it comes to politics because it's not about politics.
No,
it's about the impact of war. Yeah, the impact it has on people. And a little bit of both praise but also critique on journalists and their impact on war, which I think is funny.
It's a good angle on war.
Yes.
Going from the journalist, not just because in a lot of there are a lot of those movies already, but they are firmly then on one side, and they always end up supporting one side and working with them. Here, no, they're just there to get the story.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, and I think that's a thing that Alex Garland has been struggling with in the last few years. The people don't seem to get what he's trying to do. Maybe it's not perfect what he's doing.
No.
Men comes to mind. People just didn't get Men. That movie, yes, has problems, but I think ultimately what it was trying to say about men was amazing the way they did it. Once again,
it's a bit creepy though.
It's very creepy, but it's once again, it's not saying all men bad, all men good, toxic masculinity, good. No, it's somewhere in the middle. It's much more nuanced than that.
And it's talking about more than just men.
Yeah,
it's talking about
women's relationships to men, or
just
or vice versa,
the personal impact on certain things that happen in your life. Doesn't have to do anything with gender, really.
Yeah, and this does the same thing, but with war.
Yeah.
Kind of a competitive piece in that way.
Yeah.
And then in terms of sheer like bombastic entertainment, this is such a beautiful movie. The way it's shot, the way it's directed, that final like attack on the Capitol in Washington.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We saw it in IMAX, and the seats were literally like shaking when they were blowing up the houses.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
I kind of want to like somehow manage go and see it again in IMAX, but I don't think that's ever going to be possible.
No, you have to watch it on a really big TV.
Unless we gather up enough money to like rent it out.
I don't think we can do that with the IMAX. It would be very expensive. No, yeah, I think it's literally it might even be the best movie of the year, because my number one is another not controversial pick, but debatable pick, because my number one is The Holdovers. Technically a 2023 movie, but we didn't get it until like the 3rd of January 2024. So for us, it is a 2024 movie.
Yes.
And also, you mentioned that in rewatching it, I might not think it's a 5 out of 5, which is the only new movie I gave a 5 out of 5 last year.
Because I still have it in my top 10s. It's amazing. But I don't think it has that kind of... It's not going to have the same impact when you watch it again.
Okay.
And I think I felt that even watching it the first time. Like, when I turned it off, I had like, oh my God, it's amazing, it's amazing. Then just... Yeah, but how much am I going to rewatch this one, though? And how much am I going to enjoy it when I rewatch it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it kept like going through the story beats. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it has the same emotional impact when you know everything that happens.
And I mean, it's true. I think I said when we talked about it, it was going to be like in my rotation of Christmas movies. I didn't watch it this Christmas.
No.
However, I watched very few Christmas movies this year. I don't know why.
That's true. This year was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know why. But either way, even if it's not, has the staying power, it's still an amazing movie. Once again, flawless performances by Paul Giamatti, Dominic Sessa, Divine Joy. Just the look of it, the script, and the fact that it is a Christmas movie definitely helps. And
always a bonus.
Yeah, it's a sad Christmas movie, and it's a movie about lonely men. Not only lonely men, but that's the main part.
Yeah.
That's right up my alley once again. The fact that it celebrates, but also kind of points a little bit of fun at the classic like educated stoicism, stoicist man. But that's and like it's kind of a detriment to you at some points. But at the end, it is what saves them and their relationship, though. So. I just loved it. I loved it so much. But I guess I'll have to rewatch it. Maybe if I do a revised list, it will be Civil War that's number one. I don't know. But for now, it is my favorite movie of 2024. It's my only 5-star rating. It's 100%. 10-10. That's my top 10.